Exploring the many mutations of Tarkov is a task far too daunting for one man alone. For this reason, I have teamed up with experts Trichromatic and BNBaku to further our understanding of these absurd organisms. Come along with the three of us as we seek to unveil the secrets of the region's cursed creatures. The most normal group of mutants we researched are the Impostor weapon users. These organisms choose to disguise their weapons as other critters. Two examples being the buff STM and the feeble M4 creatures. Each is a capable fighter, the buff STM holding a significant range advantage. While the feeble M4's low recoil gives it considerable accuracy. It is unknown why these creatures choose to mimic each other, as it seems to yield no advantage. Most other creatures shoot at them all the same, whilst hatchlings and other feeble organisms are identically at their mercy. Despite their odd nature, they remain relatively effective hunters.
The MA5A Vector is a bizarre critter, seemingly futuristic in appearance, and capable of surviving with lack of oxygen and in the vacuum of space. I've only recently begun to encounter them in the field, and I have no clue as to how they got here. With immense recoil, no stock, and a vision that would make NASA jealous, how they exist is a mystery. Even though their weapons look like a space-age brick, they are more dangerous than a hungover drop bear.
This is the Paddle MCX user. Now it may seem like an average Tarkov specimen, but once their weapon is viewed from the side, it looks like something straight from, I don't know, Call of Duty. They earned their name from a comically elongated stock, which in order to use, they literally have to dislocate their shoulder and collarbone while aiming. This doesn't seem to provide any advantage, so I think that Darwin may have been slightly wrong about evolution. The shoulder-piercing stock, as well as an oversized magazine and a teeny PP barrel, makes this creature really bizarre. Yet due to the unlimited supply of ammo in the 100-round magazine, they're still pretty capable of hunting PMCs and even ratting scamp bosses with that thing.
One of the most recognizable groups of semi-cursed creatures is the laser precision category. These specimens forego any optic or sight, relying entirely on laser designators. The SMG entities, with a high rate of fire and low recoil, maintain a relatively high threat. However, their already short range is reduced even further. On the other hand, the bolt-action creatures seem incredibly vulnerable. On paper, they should be the most pathetic organisms in the region. Yet, somehow, the few we studied were able to pull off incredible shots.
A little more straightforward, yet all the more jacked up, the double hide-over boar specimen is in the same boat as the VSS creature of a similar name. What they lack in height, they make up for in the fact that there are two sights this time. With an obligatory 100-round magazine, they are quite lethal up close. At range, their high resting, double up sights make them less coordinated than a joey that's been nailed by a car, driven by a drunk roid-raging drop bear. How this convoluted, broken creature survives in the field is truly remarkable.
Now this is a short focal length Val. Now, due to its bizarre scope placement, it forces its user to slam the sight right into their eye. I mean, what's the point of eye relief anyway? Why is there no stock, you ask? Well, they use the scope as the stock. You see, when they press the scope against their eye, all the recoil is absorbed by their face. Despite every scientist betting on their death, the specimens studied were still able to somehow hunt PMCs. Then again, sometimes they completely ditch the weapon because the AS-Val has terrible sighting range due to its ballistics. Thus the creature commonly has to rely on other guns it finds in raid. As you can see, this dilapidated specimen is truly bizarre and honestly is just better off extinct.
Though not as insidious in appearance, the Card M4 users are truly cursed. They act nonsensically and spring around erratically, seeming to have no understanding of sneaking or tactical movement. Their perplexing modding makes their weapons highly inefficient at killing. Their soul-saving grace is their aggression, putting them close enough to their enemy that aiming is practically irrelevant. An originally hated species that is invaded and mutated in Tarkov, creating an anathema to all residents of the land.
You can't mod a Makarov, they said. Well, according to this creature, apparently you can mod a Makarov. How they did it is a mystery to our research team, but the gun features a suppressor, a sight, and even a drum magazine, which is quite impressive for a Makarov. But even with all the upgrades, most creatures that use this gun are immediately curb stomped after birth by any of the Chads in the region. Somehow, some of them still manage to kill PMCs, and with luck, even scav bosses. Their primary target still remains scavs, or PMCs that run scav gear. These creatures statistically should not exist, because behind all those mods, it's still a stupid Makarov.
Whoa, looky here. The Global Positioning System SCAR user, heavily endowed with rangefinders, is capable of spotting anything, anywhere, at any time. They are newcomers to these lands, yet their senses give them the ability to snipe a rogue. Despite their tracking strengths, they feel nothing and will go toe to toe with any creature at short distances. Finally, a beast capable of exterminating those pesky, drunk, Joey-killing drop bears.
With our varying levels of expertise, we have managed to unravel a few of Tarkov's daunting mysteries. Field Specialist Baku and head researcher Trichromatic's work in this harsh landscape has been instrumental in better understanding the cursed organisms that call it home. Though we now better understand a few of these specimens, the many other organisms and how they have become so twisted and cursed remains an ever-elusive puzzle.